Hello there and welcome to today's video where we're going to be going ahead and creating a very simple microservice oriented Spring Boot application. So my name is Arseni. I am an instructor here at Eduonix, and today we're going to be having a look at how we can actually use Spring Boot to create a microservice oriented web application. So I think it was pretty obvious by the name. Anyway, so let's get right into this. I'm not gonna preface this with like 5 minutes of introduction, but let's go over what a microservice actually is very quickly. So a microservice essentially, or a microservice oriented architecture, to be more correct, is an architecture where we have a bunch of separate sort of servers that each do their own thing and communicate with each other. This allows for a bunch of stuff. So for example, it allows us to, if one server fails, then not the whole thing fails, just that server fails. And it allows us to sort of create the application, a big application, which doesn't, fail as soon as just one component fails. Just we can build in functionality that allows just that one part of the site to fail, but then everything else is actually operational. It also allows us to load balance better. So instead of having just one application where if there's a bunch of traffic on a part of the application where we need to have the entire server just up in the cost, put more servers, we can have just the services that we need. We can up the amount of servers for just the services that we need. So if there's, for example, a banking application, and the functionality that maybe where you submit the form to get a loan, it's not really being used much, but the functionality where you need to where the user actually gets the balance is being used a lot. So if we have a monolith that's all on sort of like that's just the same application that shares, a bunch of resources, then we would have to just have the entire server increase, the amount of bandwidth that the hosting allows us. We need to increase, maybe just add more servers. If we have a load balancer, we would need to, maybe buy more CPU space, hard drives, and so on and so on. There's just a ton of stuff that we need to do for that one server. Using microservices, we can just use the microservice that is in charge of, actually getting the balance and showing it to the user, since that is what the users want most of all. That's where the bottleneck is happening, and we can just go ahead and up the amount of, server usage on that microservice and keep the other microservices that aren't really used as much at their current state, which allows us to save money on hosting. So those are just two of, I would say, the main it also just really helps in organizing your project. So instead of having to, go ahead and understand the entire project in order to just change one part of the project, each team can sort of have its own microservice, and that way all projects are much smaller. And if a developer actually comes onto a project, then all he needs to do is learn that one microservice, and he's good to go to develop that, to change that microservice. He doesn't need to know the entire application to get the idea, and so on. There are a ton of different other advantages to using a microservice-oriented architecture for your back-end web applications, but those are just the main ones, I would say. Now, there are a lot of ways that we can implement microservices. What I totally could have done is just done all of this from scratch. So without using just using Spring Boot, create a bunch of projects, have them communicate, and so on and so on. But nowadays, that's not really how things are done. Just like we use frameworks for developing the actual server, we have libraries and frameworks for those frameworks that allow us to sort of organize our microservices more efficiently, effectively, and so on and so on. A very big pusher of that is actually Netflix. So Netflix actually is famous for using microservices a lot because it makes sense. Netflix just has a ton of different server boxes that contain their entire library in a bunch of places. So that's how they guarantee how they guarantee reliability to the users. And so that is essentially the whole idea here. Netflix uses it quite a bit, so it makes sense for their technological model. So yeah, Netflix actually did develop something called Eureka, and that's actually something that we're going to be using in today's video. We're going to be using Eureka, Eureka Discovery Server, And it's going to allow us to actually, keep track of our microservices, give us information about it, and so on and so on. So there are a ton of different things that we can do, but we're just going to mainly use it to actually use it as a discovery server where it's going to keep track of our microservices and give us the available microservices that we need as well. So let's go ahead and start off by creating our actual discovery server. Okay, so we're going to go to start.spring.io where we're going to get a starter Spring application. We can now add any dependencies that we want here. So we're going to add Eureka server. There we go, Eureka server, Spring Cloud, Netflix Eureka server. So we're going to be using Eureka discovery later on, but right now we need Eureka server. So let's go ahead and use Eureka server. And I think that should actually be all for the discovery server. Yeah, so let's go ahead and change the group here to com, and let's just say Eduonix, and artifact is going to be Eureka server. There we go, Eureka server. Perfect. Let's generate the project, and that's going to go ahead and download it. So let's give it a second to download here. There we go. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and head on over to Eclipse. There we go. I already got a workspace ready here, and let's open projects from file system. Go to the downloads where we just downloaded it. All pretty basic stuff. Where is it? Right. So it is actually an archive. So let's click archive here, and there we go. Eureka-server.zip. Perfect. Let's open that up. All right. Let's give it a second to inspect. Understand it's a Maven project. There we go. Perfect. So let's finish that up, and there we go. So we got the actual Eureka server here, Maven project. Let's give it a second to go ahead and, update the Maven project configuration so that we actually get there we go, looking good. There we go, now we're looking good. So here now we can go ahead and go to src main Java. We can see that here we have Eureka server application. Let me make this bigger so you can actually see something instead of just looking at a bunch of pixels. Okay, so here we have Eureka server application, and right now it's just a basic Spring Boot application that just runs an empty Spring Boot container. In resources, we have an application.properties file, which is also empty, and also in our pom.xml file, you can see that we have this Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server dependency, and that's going to allow us to actually run our Eureka server. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Eureka server application.java here, and here we can use just a very simple annotation at enable Eureka server. There we go. Very, very simple annotation. Let's import this. There we go. We got it imported right there. There we go. Imported. And that's going to actually start up our Eureka server. But before we do that, we need to add some configuration into our application.properties file. So since we are going to be having a few servers actually running on this machine, first of all, we're going to assign a unique port. So we're going to do server dot port. So here we're just assigning the port of the server so that we don't get any port interference later on once we run another server. Let's just say 9876. Okay, that's going to be a server port. Next, we need to actually, so what Eureka is going to do is it's going to look for registers, and we don't want it to look for itself, essentially. So we don't want it to consider itself as a microservice. So we're going to do Eureka client register dash with dash Eureka equals false. All right, and there we go, and that should actually be all. We should now be able to run it. I think we might get a JAX-B not found error, but let's run it either way. We're going to run this as a Java application. It's going to start up the embedded Tomcat container, and let me put the console right here so that you can actually see something. All right, there we go. So we actually do get a error here. Let's have a look at what's going on. And yeah, as I thought, Java XML bind JAX-B context not present. So yeah, we need to get JAX-B. After Java 9, they sort of just remove that. So we got to include it manually now. So I have the dependencies already right here. So I anticipated this error. I've been dealing with this error quite a bit, so I anticipated it. So I got the dependencies right here. You can feel free to copy these in, or just go ahead and go to Maven if you want. Just search them up and then copy them in that way. So either way, it's all right. Okay. So now we should be able to run this as a Java application, and now we shouldn't get any actual errors here. So let's go ahead and start this up. All right, there we go. We did get an error there. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, right. So yes, that's fine. That just means that right now we don't actually have any, any services actually running. So that's just what it's giving us a warning. Don't pay attention. This error doesn't really mean anything. It won't actually hinder our performance anyway. Okay, so now we can go ahead and you can see that it mapped a few things here. So it mapped actuator here to the path. So let's go ahead and go to Google Chrome here, and now we can go to localhost port, and what was it, like 9876 I think. Let me check real quick here. Yeah, 9876, and we can go over there, and there we go. You can see now that we have Spring Eureka, and we have current time, uptime, and here we have instances currently registered with Eureka. So right now you can see that we have no instances available, and this just means that we don't actually have any microservices running. Now we need to actually get some microservices running in order for this to actually show some microservices and so that they can communicate together. But we've already got our server running, perfect. We can now also go to /actuator, and there we go. It's going to give us some some information here. We can go to /actuator/health, and there we go. We get status up. But we're going to mainly have a look here, just because this sort of gives us a better idea of our what exactly is going on here. All right, so now that we got that done, we need to go ahead and actually create some services that are going to register themselves with Eureka, the Eureka server. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and include Eureka Discovery. There we go. That's going to be a Eureka client. And let's do, instead of artifact Eureka server, we're going to do Eureka client. All right, there we go. Let's generate that project. That's going to go ahead and download. All right, there we go. It's downloaded. Let's go ahead and go to Eclipse here. And here we can just go ahead and let's stop this first of all. And let's go to File, Open Projects from File System. You know the drill. Very simple stuff. And we're going to go to Downloads. And where is it? Eureka client.zip. There we go. Let's open that up. Finish, give that a chance to update the Maven configuration. There we go, looking good. And there we go. So now you can see in pom.xml we have this Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client dependency. So that's going to be the client itself. Okay, so here we also need to do something similar to what we did with the server, where we need to enable the actual discovery client. So let's go ahead and go to src main Java, Eureka server application, and whoops, we're in Eureka server. We need to be in Eureka client. There we go. Eureka client application, and here all we're going to do is just enable discovery server. If you can't see the text on the left here in the Project Explorer, make sure you have the video at 1080p and make it full screen. That should definitely help. I did. What am I doing? Yeah, not enable discovery server client. See, when I'm talking over when I'm typing, it's always bad. Okay, there we go. Let's import that. But what I wanted to say is that I searched far and wide on how in Eclipse you can make this font bigger, but there's just no way, from what I understood. You could do it on Linux. There's a way to do it, but I couldn't find it on Mac OS. So yeah, I have to deal with this very small font. I realize how annoying that can be. But yeah, at least you have the very big font here. Okay, so we have this enable discovery client. There we go. So that's done. Now we also here need to go into resources, application properties, and also configure this this project. So the first thing that we need to do is give it an application name. So we're going to do Spring application dot name, and it's going to be equal to, let's just say, Eureka dash client dash service. So this is a microservice already, and it's going to be 1. Okay, now let's just give it a server port. Let's do server.port, and the server port is going to be, let's just say, 8765. So that was 9876. This is going to be 8765. There we go. And let's save that, and there we go. We should actually be able to go ahead and run this. And this should actually go ahead and be, this should be good to go to actually go ahead and, work. Okay, so let's go ahead and start up our server first of all. There we go. We'll start that up, and we should also get the JAXB error in this project as well when we start that up. So that while that's starting up, let's start up. I have to wait for this, otherwise it's gonna constantly take me back to here. There we go. Now let's go to Project Explorer. Let's go ahead and go to Eureka Client. Let's start this up. Run as. Can I not run this? What's going on? Run as. There we go. Java application. All right, let's run that as Java application. That's going to start up the embedded Tomcat container as well. All right, and I think we got the JAXB exception as well. All right, we actually got a connection refused error here. Okay, I found the problem. So what I did is I forgot to actually disable the fetch registry here. If we go to Eureka server and then resources application.properties file, what we also need to do here is Eureka client. And then, whoops, eureka.client.fetch-registry equals false. Right now we don't need it. This is the fetch registry. It essentially means that this client, so when the server is seen as a client, it's not going to actually register itself into the fetch registry, essentially. So that's actually what's going on there. So these two commands, these two options that we put here, they're just not registering the server as a client. So that way we don't get any errors here. All right, so now that we've done that, let's also change these ports. So let's try something like maybe 8761 here for the server, and then it's also, let's do 8760 for the client. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and start up the Eureka server application. All right, let's give that a chance to start up here. All right, there we go. And now we'll start up the client application as well. And now we should actually be good to go without any errors, and everything should be perfect and great. All right, and there we go. Register. So now we're in the Eureka server application. And here we can see registered instance, Eureka client service 1. That's the name that we provided here. And here we have the host name as well. All right, perfect. And now if we actually go to the browser and type in localhost port 8761, we get taken to the Spring Eureka homepage. And you can see here that we have the instances currently registered with Eureka. We have Eureka client service 1. And there we go. And so now we have the actual, IP address and everything like that, the address here. And there we go. It has successfully registered. So now we have one microservice registered in the Spring Eureka server. Perfect. All right. So this is great and all, but let's register another microservice. Let's connect two microservices together so that we actually work. Yeah. So let's do that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go to Eclipse here. And what we're going to do is, first of all, let's stop all of this. There we go. So stop the Eureka server. Let's not start it. Let's close it. Let's go to the Eureka client application. Okay. And here we're going to create a REST controller. It's all pretty simple. Just, Spring Web stuff. Controller. I believe we don't actually have, we need the web dependency here. Let me go ahead and copy the web dependency in. Should have included that at the beginning, but I didn't think this stuff through, did I? Not very good. Not very good. There it is. Let me copy that in really quickly. You can just get this off Maven. Just type Spring Boot Starter Web Maven, and then that'll give you the dependency. All right, we got that copied in. Now let's go import REST controller. Right, we have to do our REST controller. Then, yeah, that's it, I think. And then here we just do class basic controller. Let's just do basic controller. Just to show off an example of where this is actually going to be working. All right, let's import REST controller. Perfect. So here inside REST controller, what we're going to have is, let's see. So we're just gonna have a very basic service that's just going to. So we're gonna add request mapping. And we're going to request mapping for, I don't know, microservices. And then /app-name. And that's going to be in square brackets, or curly brackets, I'm sorry. There we go. And then public string microservice by name. There we go. And we're going to get the app path variable. So that's just going to give us whatever we put inside these instead of these curly brackets here. Path variable string app dash name. There we go. Looking pretty good. All right, perfect. Now what we're going to go ahead and do, we'll see the problem here. Am I missing something? Because I think everything should be working, but it is. Oh, I think I need to import request mapping. That didn't fix it, did it? Public string microservice by name path variable string app name. I'm not entirely sure why this is giving me an error here. I think maybe it's. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see. So we got to make an app name like that. I forgot that we can't use dashes in the names of variables. Okay, so then here all we're gonna do is just return. Well, first of all, we need a discovery service here. So at auto wired private discovery client. And then just do client here. What am I doing? Discovery. There we go. Looking good. Let's import that. And let's import AutoWired as well. And that's going to allow us to actually get all the instances for the current application. So we can just do return client dot get instances. And then let's see, where is this? Instances. And I think we actually imported the wrong client here. Let me go ahead and import the correct one. Oh, where's the client? Can you see the client? That's oh, there we go. I was like, where's the client? Where'd it go? And it was right there. Okay. So we're going to import the Spring version. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to do client.get instances. There we go. String service ID. And for the string, we're just going to pass in the app name. There we go. All right, and then we're going to return that. Let's also do dot toString. And there we go. So that should be pretty good. Let's go ahead and save this. All right, and let's go ahead and run this. So first of all, let's run. Whoops, what are we doing here? First of all, let's go ahead and run Eureka server application. All right, let's give that a chance to start up here. Okay, perfect. And now let's run Eureka client application. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and go to our browser here. Let's refresh. And now we can now go to localhost port 8760, localhost port 8760 slash, and then what was it here? Microservices, and then slash, and let's see, what's the application name here? Let's do Eureka Client Service 1 here. All right, and there we go. So right now we're actually getting nothing. Why is that? We shouldn't be getting nothing. There we go, and there we go. So now we actually got it. And you can see here that this is actually this service right here that we can see here. So this is actually pretty powerful, because right now, if we were to do something like this, if we were to go back here, let's change of port. Let's say 87, let's just do 59. Why not? 59, okay. And let's start up another Eureka client application without stopping that other one. All right, and let's give that a chance to start up. It's also going to go ahead and register. There we go. Let's see, it should show up here. There we go. We have 2 available zones. Perfect. And now if we refresh this a few times, let's give it a chance to actually register here. because we should get that there. Where is it? Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, and there we go. Okay, now you can see it showed up there. And there we go. So now we have both of these services actually showing up. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what good does this do us? I mean, I don't really care about these services. I mean, it's great that we have them, but again, I don't really care. Well, what we can also do now, instead of, for example, returning client.getInstanceAppName.toString, we can do client.getInstanceAppName.get. Actually, no, not .get. What is it? Right, yeah, we can get one of these. So let's say that we're getting the first one. So get 0 and then .get and URI. There we go. And then .toString. Let's return that. And you're going to see what that's going to do. Yeah, let's start up this now. Another one. Let's do 5.8 this time. So now we're going to have 3. There we go. And this is going to give us the URI of the very first one. So let's go and start up Eureka client application again. All right, let's give that a chance to start up there. Okay, perfect. Let's go to Google Chrome. Let's refresh. Let's keep refresh. Oh, whoops, I'm not refreshing. There we go. Now we get 3 available zones. I wasn't refreshing there. I was clicking Command E. All right, anyway, we get 3 available zones. Perfect. And now if we refresh here it should show up here in around 30 seconds or so. But anyway, if we now do go ahead and go to this local host, port 878, or what is it? 87758, I believe. And then Microservice Eureka Client Service 1, you're going to see now that instead of giving us the list, it's giving us an IP. So this is what it's giving us here. So what we put right here, it's giving us the actual URI. And there we go. Well, this is actually very, very powerful because now we can replace this actual server. So right now it's just getting us the first server, but of this microservice, right? But instead of getting us the server, we could hook up a load balancer here, which won't return us the first server. It's going to actually return us the best server, the server that's being the least used. And so that way we're going to spread our actual users on our servers to minimize the strain on the servers. And that's just very, very powerful. We can now actually use this URI that we got to perform any HTTP request that we want using this URI and communicate with that microservice as we please. All right then, thank you very much for watching. That's actually all for today's video. Hopefully you learned something. I didn't go too deep into this. I just covered the very basics of, sort of using microservices with Eureka. We set up a very basic microservice. Now we have the URI. I showed you some pretty powerful stuff to do within this, pretty short video. I mean, it's not pretty short. I mean, it's rather quite long, but you get the idea. It's not like a few hours. It's a relatively short video. And hopefully you did certainly learn something about microservices and how they work. And so now we can use this URI to communicate with microservices and get all the benefits of the microservice architecture that are assigned, given to us when we do adopt it. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on here. If you do want to see more microservice videos, maybe where I create multiple microservices, so here I actually do only have one microservice. I just created multiple instances of that microservice. But if you do want to take a look at where we create more microservices, how we can hook them up together, how we took a look at that, if you want to take a look at that, how we can maybe hook up a load balancer here, how we can deploy the microservices to an actual to production, just to to see how that will actually work in real world. There's a lot of different things that we can do. If you want to have a look at something, make sure you leave in the comments below, and we'll be sure to do it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, just because we appreciate it. You don't believe how much we appreciate it. We're so eternally grateful. And yeah. Other than that, then this has been Arseni for Eduonix. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till soon.